What's up, everybody? This is the Go Report checking in for another week. Got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. So, last week, we had earnings for Walmart. Walmart had a triple beat. They beat on earnings, revenues, and guidance. So, here's the key. Global e-commerce sales were up 24%. E-commerce sales in the U.S. were up 27%. So, here's the thing to understand about Walmart. Walmart has transformed into an e-commerce powerhouse, right up there with Amazon. So they pretty much transformed their business, and now their online business is pretty dominant. Now, guidance came in slightly lighter than what the street was expecting. I think that's attributed to pretty much Walmart lowering the bar for next quarter and for the full year. Now, the thing to worry about Walmart is pay attention to the behavior of the consumer as we get deeper into the year. Will inflation increase? Will inflation continue to go down? Right now, we see inflation trending down a little bit. The rate of inflation is going down. So right now, with the guidance that Walmart gave, they're being cautious with the consumer. So that's why there was a bit of a disappointment with their guidance from the street. So we'll see how that plays out for Walmart as the year goes on. On to economic news. So on Friday, the Supreme Court ruled that EPA tariffs are unconstitutional. So the decision was 6-3 to pretty much say that the EPA tariffs are unconstitutional. Now, this does not mean that the tariffs are canceled. So right after the decision, President Trump immediately countered by signing a new tariffs under the Section 122 Trade Act of 1974. So basically, the court said that Congress holds the tariff authority for EPA. Now, keep in mind that over $133 billion in EPA tariffs have already been collected. Now, the key is, will that money be allocated to the businesses, or will that money be allocated to the American people? We're not sure yet, but the key thing to understand is that these tariffs are not canceled. These tariffs are still in effect. So will it be in the form of a refund to an American people, or will it be given to the businesses? We don't know yet, but the tariffs are pretty much still in effect, and this was expected. This decision for the courts to rule against the EPA tariffs. This was expected, so that's why there wasn't much of a reaction from the stock market. Now on to the December PCE. PCE was released on Friday. The headline PCE came in at 2.9% year over year versus 2.7%, which was expected. So pretty much inflation came in a little bit higher. And this is the Fed's main gauge for inflation. They look at the PCE. So what this does is it keeps the Fed firmly on hold for interest rate cuts. So think about what happened last week. We had cooler than expected inflation for CPI, and then we had hotter than expected inflation for the PCE. So the Fed likes to gauge the PCE more than the CPI. So what that basically means is the Fed is on a wait and see process. There's like a 0% chance for rate cuts in March. So on to Q4 GDP. So Q4 GDP came in a bit lower than expected. It came in at 1.4%. Wall Street was expecting 2.8%. This was a steep drop from the third quarter's 4.4%. Now, why did we miss on the GDP number? It was mainly due to the government shutdown, the 43-day government shutdown. So that pretty much shaved off a full 1% off of the GDP amount. So it's not too much to read into it. We can't really read into it too tough because we had the government shutdown. So that's something that we have to look forward to for the next quarter, where we don't have a government shutdown, even though we're in a smaller government shutdown right now. So moving on to this week, we got NVDA earnings coming up. So the key thing for NVIDIA is to gauge exactly how the GPU Blackwell chips are doing. You got so many companies that are still investing in GPUs. You have companies that are building their own chips, but NVIDIA's GPUs are the top of the top, the prime of the prime, still in a heavy demand. Another key earnings report that's coming out this week is Home Depot. Home Depot's reporting. This gives a good gauge for what's going on with the consumer. It gives a good gauge with home building. It gives a good gauge of the overall economy. On the economic data front, we got consumer confidence on Tuesday, new home sales on Tuesday, and the Fed Speaker Watch is going on this week as well. So that's all for now for the Gore Report. Stay locked in, and I'll talk to you guys next week.